A data set of 10 students who take a math score, and we have 3 different measures of average. So when we talk about the average, we talk about a single number that best represents the overall center of the data. And so center, or the best number to describe the data. Okay, so the mean is kind of add them all up and divide by the total number of people there. The mode is the most popular. The median is line up in size order and pick the middle. And the range is just a measure of how far apart the biggest and lowest are. It's just a measure of spread. So this is a measure of spread. How spread out is the data? And of course you can do all this by hand, maybe with a little bit of calculator help. But if it's a non-calculator question, you can see that for the mean you'd have to go and do all of this added together, right? So if it's non-calculator, then you divide by 10, and that's not so bad, right? Divide by 10's not a bad one. The mode, you could just scan to see that the most popular score seems to be 14. So we would say maybe 14 is a good representation for this data set. 14 is the kind of overall center, the average. Oh, can't quite get that. The median, actually, if you think about the median as the middle, well, the middle of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, these are the middle 2 people, but we've got a 5 and a 19. But this is incorrect because they're not lined up in size order. So for the median, we'd have to line them up in size order. So we'd have to take a little bit of time. Again, this is all non-calculator, right? So a little bit of time to do it, and that would be scan, 5, 8, 8, 8, 5, 8, 10, right? 10, 11, and then 14, 14, 14. Then we've got 16 and a 19. Took a little bit of time, right? And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are the middle 2. So the way we would do this is we need bang in the middle of 11 and 14. One way to do it is 14 plus 11, and then find the mean. So that's 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. You might just be able to see that halfway between 11 and 14 there's a difference here of 3, and half of 3 is 1.5, so 11 plus 1.5 gives us 12.5. Okay, so now that's all by hand, and I'll show the calculator in a moment. Now data set 2, we can do a very similar thing, because what we could do, this is about a football game, and 0 goals were scored in 3 games. So we could actually just create our list of individual scores, right? 1 goal was scored 10 times. Oh my goodness. This would take a long time, right? But we would then use those data points and add them all up, and then divide by however many there were. Now, however many there were would be 3 plus 10, 13, plus 12, 25, 33, 38, 40. There were 40 games played, okay? So the mean would be divided by the 40 games. But actually, we can add an extra column here, and then just say, can you see that all of these ones added together would give us 10, because 10 times 1 is 10. And then we'd write down 2 goals 12 times. So can you see we don't need to write them down, because we know it'd be 2 times 12. Up here 0 times 3, 3 times 8, 4 times 5, and 5 times 2. When we add this together, this would be 8, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So the mean would be 88 divided by 40. Okay. The median would be the score in the middle. Now we've got to think, if there's 40 games, we're looking for maybe the 20th game and the 21st game. So we go back and we start to add up the frequencies, right? Because the frequencies tell us how many games. So up to here, there's 3 games played. Up to here, there's 13 games played. And all the way up to here, there's 25 games played. So can you see the 20th and the 21st game will be in this group, and that will be a 2. Yeah. Up here, another way of visualizing it would be there'd be 3 zeros, there'd be another 10 ones, there'd be another 12 twos. So already up here, if we wrote them out as a list, we'd already have 3 of these, 10 of these, and 12 of these, right? We've already got 3, 13, 25. So these 2s would eventually run out, and we'd already have 25 data points. Now we only need to get the 20th and the 21st data point, so we definitely know 2 would be the median. So 2 is the median for this one, right? And then the mode here, well, the mode is the most popular number. And you can see that the most popular number, well, the most popular number is 2, and it occurs 12 times. And the range is the highest goal scored, subtract the lowest goal scored. So that's 5 minus 0 is equal to 5. That reminds me, I don't think we did the range for the first one. So the range for the first one is a spread, and that was how far spread out are the data points. 19 subtract 5, is 14. Okay, brilliant. So now we go on to the final question. Again, nothing with a calculator just yet, but we will do it. Now for this final one, can you see that we have 2 people, and they are somewhere between 130 and 140. It's possible that these 2 people could be very close to 140. It's possible that these 2 people don't know. So what we do is we give them the middle value, right? So we give them halfway, which is 135. So what we do is we change this, we call this grouped frequency table, because you can see we've got a group from 130 to 140, and so we pick the mid value because we're really not too sure what height these people are. So we do this midpoint. Then can you see what we've done is we've managed to create a similar question to the frequency table, right? Where we have a frequency and we have a specific value. So we've managed just to collapse this last question, grouped frequency, into a frequency question. Right, so now I'm going to pause there, and then let me just go and show you how to do these on the TI-Nspire. We'll start with the single list here, and the single list will look a little bit like this. We got the TI-Nspire, here it is, and we go to the home menu. We add a spreadsheet. All right, now this I'm going to call maybe A, the first list, and just type them all in. This was 11, 8, 14, 10, 5, 19, 14 again, right? 8, 16, and 14. And look, we can see there's 10 data points. Now go to the space just next to the first one. Menu, statistics, statistical calculations. There is one variable, that was the test score. We've got one list, and the X1 list, click on this little arrow here, and there's variable A, and each item is just 1, and that's it. So all we have to do is read off and understand what these are. So X bar is the mean, right? X bar is the mean, 11.9. This little guy here with a little hat on, this is called sigma X. This is the standard deviation. We've seen this in Data Classroom. This is the 10 data items. The minimum is 5. The median is 12.5. And the max is 19. So we get all our information here. I'm just going to go and transfer this 11.9 across Okay, so the mean was equal to 11.9. All right, and look, the mode was 14, right? We didn't get that from the calculator. We'd still have to do that by hand. The median we said was 12.5. Look, that was correct from the calculator. And then the spread, the range, we can actually 19 minus 5. We can see what that was from the calculator. Now let's have a look at this data set and see how we do that on the calculator. So here, I'm going to go back to the home page, insert another spreadsheet, and look, it's become 1.2. I'm going to call this data set B, and I'm going to type in the goal scored, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then I need a F for frequency, right? So this is the number of matches played, right? So this is 3, 10, 12, 8, 5, and 2. Now this time we've still got one variable. The variable is the number of goals scored, okay? And we've just got one variable, so we're going to go the same again. Menu, statistics, stat calc, one variable stats. We've only got one list because it was the goal scored by one team. And over here, the X1 list, click, it was B. But now the frequency list isn't just single numbers. We tag it with the F. Click, and it's done it again. Look, X bar here is 2.2, so that's the mean. Now down here, that would be the standard deviation. This is the standard deviation. And now here is the median, which is 2. Okay, and that's what we got as the answer. And here is the max value was 5, and the lowest value was 0. Okay, so again, we've got all of the data that we need from there. And then finally, let's go back to the last data set, which is here. All right, this is group frequency, but we're going to do this in the same way as we did the second question. So we need a frequency column and we need a midpoint column. So again, let's go back to our TI-Nspire. Let's finish this off. Click. Let's go back to the home spreadsheet and let's go, we'll call this C, we'll call this F. But notice how the F became bold because we've already taken this letter on the previous spreadsheet. So I'm going to put freak. And now you can see it's not bold, so this should work. So now let's go and type in our midpoints. That was 135, 145, 155, 165, and 175. And up here, let's go and put in the frequencies 2, 5, 11, 9, and 3. And finally, one more time, let's go through menu, statistics, stat calc, one variable, okay. The X is the variable, which now we call C, and the frequency list, remember, we called freak. And off we go, and there we go. The mean, X bar 157. The standard deviation is a 10.5. There were 30 items in this data set, 30 students with their heights. The minimum height, you can see, the median height, the maximum height, and max minus min would give us our range. I hope that helped.